Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's been a minute. I have a very short video and I hope it's very powerful and very beneficial to those who really need to hear this. Stop letting your emotions control you. And this is what I mean by that. Plenty of times you're afraid to hurt. So you will stay with something that you know you shouldn't. Anytime you get to a point in your life where you need others around you to validate why you continue to stay in a situation or continue to be around a situation that you know is not for you, or you maybe call up your friends or text them or email them or whatever your communication skills is with that person, and you do it just for the fact of hoping that they'll either convince you what you're doing is not good, convince you that you shouldn't stay, or validate the reasons why your excuse is good enough to stay. But at the end of the day, all of that is still nothing but harm and pain to you. And then you stay in that vicious cycle and you continue to hurt behind it. You can't grow, you can't flourish, you can't be blessed for it. It's just a vicious cycle of pain that you constantly give to yourself. And that's the honest truth. And no one's doing it to you, because people are going to be people. And they're going to treat you the way they choose to. And you can't make excuses for them. What you can do is correct how you handle a situation. Stop being afraid of hurt. Stop being afraid of pain. Stop being afraid of being let down. Stop being afraid of failing in something. Because that's the only way to get better. It's the only way to heal. That's the only way to grow. That's the only way to self-reflect and understand who you are as a person. I love you all for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But I want you to do better in this life. And this is not just for Muslims. It's non-Muslims, all of us that are here. Some of us have unhealthy relationships, whether it is with our job, a spouse, a friend, a family member, whatever the relationship nature is, that we will not let go of, that we will continue to allow to hurt us, do damage to us, and cause us problems that later reciprocate more problems that keep spiraling into a bad circle. And we never find our way out of it. And sometimes the only way we know how to fix it is to hop from one situation to the next, as if just going to magically forget about it. But sometimes you have to realize, even with that, you have to reflect on who you are as a person. Because just because you cross the street don't mean you're going to walk different. Understand what I'm telling you. Because sometimes we have to understand if we are truly the problem to ourselves. The way you walked across the street don't mean that when you got over there, it was going to change. You're still going to walk the same way if you have not learned to, one, identify the problem, two, identify what needs to be done to correct it, and three, fix it, execute, and move on. It's not going to happen if you are taking yourself to a position where I know the problem. You know what the problem is. You know what it's going to take to fix it. But instead of doing anything about it, you're going to call your friend up. Man, what you think about this? What you think I should do? You already knew what you should do when you called them. No, don't get me wrong. There are some situations that you literally have to take into account the opinion of others to help you. We're not discussing those isolated events. That's something different. That's like, say for instance, what's a good example? Maybe you want to help somebody out, and maybe that particular person, your friend or somebody, knows better than you do. I don't know. And so for whatever reason, you call them up to get an opinion. I know that's probably not the best example, but what I'm saying is 9 times out of 10, if you're already in a bad situation or something that's causing you pain, something that has you hurt, keeping you up at night, got you crying, got you sad, got you feeling like you walking on eggshells and you stuck, and you already know what it's going to take to get away from it, but you feel like you don't want to deal with the pain and the grief of that. So you constantly calling up people, trying to explain your situation to them, hoping that they'll give you a better light or a better answer. You already know what you need to do. So just stop and do it. Pray. Continue to live your daily life and do what it takes to heal. But like I said, sometimes you have to realize who's causing the damage. Is it really the other person? Because if you've told that person 900 different ways of how to treat you right or do right by you, and 900 different times they done showed you that they're not going to change anything about them, and you still remain in that particular situation, involved in that particular relationship, whatever the nature of it is, and you don't have to be there, and you're doing it solely for the sake of your emotions, then you got to realize who the problem is. And you got to realize then, okay, it's time for me to separate my emotions from the problem and execute it properly. I execute properly how I move around. And don't get me wrong, this is a reminder to myself first, so much even to you. And I pray that this is beneficial to somebody. And I just want you to know that mental health is very important. And if you ever feel like you need someone to talk to, please reach out to someone that you trust or a hotline to help you. Don't go at it alone, and know that it is nothing wrong to ask for help. Again, I love you all. For the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, have a blessed day. Peace.